gridiron's cold, a million stories yet to be told. Bombers bringing the heat to the screen, Woo! You just got a vision like you've never seen, vision like you never seen. Moans ends locking the gears in the back, we're turning the dial, making the attack. Big freaking Friday show, yeah, we own the night. Let's freaking go, the future is bright. Big freaking Friday show, we're taking the lead. Everything you want, everything you want, everything you need. Clock on the wall is ticking to 10. We're doing it all and then doing it again. I own this show, yeah, it's mine to keep. Wake up the rivals, wake up from the sleep. Big freaking Friday show, yeah, we own the night. Let's freaking go, the future is bright. Big freaking Friday show, we're taking the lead. Everything you want, everything you want, everything you need. Let's freaking go and moan on the mic. Big freaking Friday show, let's freaking go.
Let's freaking go! How we doing tonight, guys? Mowing that song gets me jacked every Friday night. It is so awesome to hear that. Thank you so much for all that hard work.
Heck yeah.
I appreciate it, Nate.
You're very welcome.
Moen,
I love your hat, too.
Yeah, your hat looks great. It's Friday, freaking Friday. Let's go, Moen. It feels like every time I listen to that, it's like the intro to like Sunday Night Football, or even like the old Monday Night Football like theme song, right? Like, let's freaking go, man. Let's go.
Absolutely. That's, if I could just make the same amount of royalties on it, I would be happy.
I know, that would be great, wouldn't it? That would be fantastic. I'd like to see it on the top 25 or something like that. Let's go. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here tonight. It is Friday evening, your appointment television. You know where to go. Right here, Big Freaking Friday on the College Football Mafia channel. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown, with my co-hosts and partners. That would be the Professor Wild Ute and Moen.
Hey.
After Dark. How we doing tonight, guys?
Doing freaking great. How you guys doing?
I'm doing well. It's for me this week has been a lot about news that hasn't moved the real needle, and yet a lot of people are concerned out in college football land about where their school may be in several years. So let's just talk about that right off the jump. Utah has some ghost opportunity to maybe go do something. What do you think about these latest maneuverings in the PCSA?
Well, the PCSA is exactly what we said. It's just it's a piece of crap. That's what it is, guys. And this thing ain't going to get in the way of Utah nor anybody else that's trying to make the way to the Power 2 and never was. It ain't going to do it. And if it somehow got there by some miraculous way, it's still going to get blocked up somehow. I just have no belief in it at all. I think that the forces are in play, and they've been in play a long time ago. And I will tell everybody right here, right now, it's 16 months or less. 16 is the number. I'm going to hound on this 16, guys. It's December of 2027 is when you will know if you ended up in the Power 2 or not. That's for Utah. That's for Florida State. That's for North Carolina. That's for everybody. It's December of 2027, next year, 16 months down the line. That is the timeline that has to be because of the 16-month notice period for the Big 12. There's a 12-month notice period for the ACC. We will know where these chairs are falling in 16 months or less. Forget PSA. This thing's happening, and it's happening soon. It's happening next year.
Okay, Moen, how about you? You've been very active. You talk to people in the back end all the time, trying to sort out the fact from the fiction. I'll leave my opinion for last. What are your thoughts about this last week? We still haven't had a vote.
No vote. Yeah, we didn't get a vote. We thought we were going to get a vote either yesterday or tomorrow. That did not happen. So, and then you have radical Republicans, basically dunking Ted Cruz's head in the toilet and saying nope, and slapping in, Moody, the senator from Florida, basically slapping together in her Florida way, Let's put this little amendment in here that says if you leave within 180 days, you don't have that 5-year independence clause. So 180 days after the bill's enacted, you can go wherever you can get to, and no 5-year independence clause required.
Yeah, there's some details in there, and you've covered several of them. We'll get to them as we look at the different articles. But the idea that we always knew as it went to the House that the PCSA was going to have amendments proposed, right? I mean, that's what they do. But we're still not even to the House yet. And the House, in my opinion, is the bigger dodge. It's not the Senate. So how does this move past the point of we keep talking about it every week? I mean, for heaven's sakes, we're playing football in 3 weeks.
Yeah. You guys, like, there's so many roadblocks ahead. The Big Ten, the SEC delayed support of the bill, the roadblocks about the amendments coming in, the changes and everything else, like the elections coming up. Like, the odds of this thing happening right now are sitting about 10% or less, right? Let's be honest. Like, that is a flyer, right? The absolute heavy favorite is this thing not getting done. And what does that mean? If this thing does not get done, we are exactly where we were before. That means true. Nothing changes. And that means that there's no blocking any school from going anywhere. And you can make the jump if you get the invite. There's going to be no caps or anything else. So it is absolutely the Wild West that we live in today. And it's going to be even crazier because there's going to be more desperation before the new governments come in, soon here to get things rolling. So this thing, there is going to be a realignment happening, guys. And like the question though is like once the ACC does get rated, heavy rated here, we're not talking about just 2 or 3 teams. We're talking about 6, 7 teams getting rated here from the ACC over the next 16 months. I'm telling you, 16 months it's going to happen, that raid. What does that mean for the Big 12? Who's going to win for the ACC and the Big 12 at that point in time? Are there going to be any poaching from ACC, Big 12? Is it going to be best of the rest? Who knows? That's when all that stuff's shaken out. It has ramifications for all of our schools. Of course, the Utes, BYU. What's BYU do right here? Like BYU, are you going to look for a best of the rest situation? Or are you just going to be content in the Big 12? I've got no idea. What do you think, Nate?
It's best of the rest. Yeah, you've hit on it. The thirst in Provo now is just as it's ever been for any other school that wants to go out and actually compete. The best of the rest is the next option, I believe. I think there is a deal to be made out there to have something better than what either the ACC or Big 12 can provide. The only question is who's going to be in that group, right? In my opinion, that group is going to exist. It's going to sort of evolve out of those 2 conferences. We just don't know who's going to be in that group. So, but yeah, there is no going back. In my opinion, if BYU is left out again, they just might shut the program down. I find it hard to believe they're willing to play second fiddle to anybody. So it is an all or nothing type deal too, which is I think one of the reasons why the stadium's been held up. I mean, the stadium renovation is 25 years overdue, but you're going to put $1 billion into a capital project that eventually is left fallow. I don't believe that. So 18 months or 16 months, you said though. That's a pretty. I'm telling you, but December.
Yeah. And the reason for that again is going to the notice periods and when the alignment of like the media contracts go. So we're talking about like in December of 2027 next year. That's 16 months away. That like if you announce before December of 2027, you give ample time for 16-month notice period to get into the Power 2 leagues for the 2029 season. So we're not talking about 2027, 2028. That's when the Big Ten media contracts will line up in 2029, 2030. And so that is the timeline you're looking at, especially for Big 12 schools. Look, the Big Ten, it's going to happen here. Like, it's crazy. We're looking at less than a year and a half. And I'm telling you, like June of next year to December is when all of it's going to shake out. I don't think it's going to happen anytime before, but when it shakes out, it's going to be absolute madness, guys.
All right, very good. Let's get to some super chats. We got quite a few people who
do
have
it.
joined us early today. Evil Badger Ryan Willie, $5 super chat, also a member of the College Football Mafia family. The way you know that is look to that little symbol next to 72 right there. You know they're members. He's an OG member of the College Football Mafia. Hi, College Football Mafia. Cap Randall will have a corporate sponsor on the 25-yard lines by a sponsor Moen and I have a lot of issues with. Spectrum, is that a like a cable company?
Yes, Spectrum is what out west you probably call it Xfinity.
Oh, okay.
It's basically Time Warner Cable.
Comcast.
Yeah, Comcast, but it's basically our version of Comcast out here. And
okay.
you know, Ryan has issues with it. I have issues with it. Ryan, all I can tell you is hopefully if it's on your side of the field, your team's side of the field, it'll help stop people from getting across the 25-yard line.
Oh, wow. There's no reason to be mean
Dang.
like that, Moen.
Dang.
That's going hard.
Well, now I'm
another
saying that's
one-
good. That'll protect it. It'll if it's on their side of the field,
I see what you're saying.
it won't
Okay.
get across it.
Or you're kicking a lot of field goals. Is that the other side of it? I don't know.
Well,
All right. $2 super chat behind that says, kill the bill before it passes. Go past 19. Moen, I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to put this up again. This is the title of the show. Where does this come from? Where does this title come from as we're talking about going into this next week?
it comes from the movie Kill Bill.
Okay? And what does it mean? Why should people pay attention to it?
Because they're killing this bill. I just sent you a tweet from Ross Dellinger there in the private chat, Bomber. 3 more Republican senators have filed amendments to the bill.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's not going to get to a Senate vote. It's not even going to get to a floor vote. This thing is going to die the death of 1,000 amendments. You know, there's.
I kind of said that a long time ago that was going to happen, though. Where was all the energy and the flow from the last couple of weeks where we thought it was going to be done? I never thought it would get even to the Senate, let alone the House.
I'm interested most in seeing which senators are opposing it. And I'm sure a lot of them are senators from states with teams that probably don't want to be in the ACC right now.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I think that's a fair comment. Let's dive into that a little bit as we have the Badgers still on the screen. I'll get to Daniel. I'll get to your super chat in just a second. This is me being smart. I'll read the Ross Dellinger quote, but I wanted to share this because I thought I was pretty creative. One thing everybody knows about me, I've always thought this PCSA was a piece of crap anyway. But think of all the challenges that you have. You have to have it approved by the Senate. You have to have a committee approval in a House. They don't even have a bill written. They may just carbon copy the one out of the Senate, but they don't have to. Then there's a bunch of amendments. Then it has to be approved by the House. So now you have those two things. Then you have to have what is a collaboration between the Senate and the House. They have to come together. And then it has to be signed off on by the President of the United States. And after all of that, we get to this part which says, if a Power League school wants to move to another Power Conference, the school can avoid the 5-year probationary period if it withdraws from its league within 180 days of the bill. Enactment is the word right there that I want to pull everybody to. So that lines up pretty much with your 16 months, doesn't it, you?
Yeah. I mean, like, what they were just trying to do here is just give a little leeway for teams to jump before this bill even got in place. What a cluster, guys. What a wreck. What an epic waste of time and resources.
It really is.
What an epic time. Waste. And what a waste. We've been telling you all along, realignment's happening. There's no blocking that. Get out of here. It's not B19. Nope. This is happening, y'all. This is freaking happening. PCSA, goodbye. The wasted resources. What a joke.
Let's get to another one here. This one is, sorry, I hit the wrong button right there. 3 more amendments have been made. I never posted the other one. I apologize. I'll post the link to this one too. But this is what Moen was just talking about. 3 more amendments have been filed on the PCSA all from the same senator from Florida. Moen, tell everybody why this matters to Miami and Florida State in particular.
Well, this gives them an option. I mean, listen, if you're Florida State and Miami, you couldn't afford to go independent for 5 years. Nobody could. So if they've got spots lined up and they know they've got spots lined up, this is perfect for them. It lets them get out without having to be, in independent limbo for 5 years and get right into their new power conference. So, for Florida State and Miami, that matters.
I agree with that 100%. We'll continue with the PCSA on the brink of Senate floor vote. Hurdles remain. Several objections from Republican senators to a request to accelerate a vote. At least 4 amendments from the senators came out, and a whip count that isn't as high as originally expected. 3 weeks ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I heard numbers of 65 or 70 senators that were going to approve this bill and was going to streamline straight to the House. Where did that time go?
I don't know.
I don't know either. What the difference a week makes, right? And then we'll back up again and we'll say,
when push
Matt
comes
Brown
to
says,
shove, are you going to put your support or not? Is it talk, or are you actually going to put it on paper? And there's no support for this, guys. There's no support anywhere for this. Like, who actually supports this now? Cruz?
I don't know.
Moen,
that's a great question. You've been tracking this the most of all of us. Who is in support of this bill? Is still pushing it? Is it just Cantwell and Cruz?
There's lots of people still pushing it. I actually sent you a different tweet, Bomber. I don't know why it came up with that other one, but the latest tweet from Ross Dellinger, 3 more amendments from 3 more senators. So this is 3 senators.
Yeah, let me bring that up. Hang on. It took me to that other link for some reason. So let me get to this one. So we all are on the same page. I want to make sure we're talking about the ones you're talking about. Go ahead. You've got this one. I think that's the right link.
Yes, 3 more amendments from 3 more senators have been filed to the Protect College Sports Act. Republican lawmakers are privately meeting now about next steps for a global package. The Senate stands in recess until at least 8:15 p.m. Eastern.
Which is right now.
It's
8:16 right now. So, okay. Well, I mean, whatever. I still don't see where it's going to get enough energy to get over the line, but I guess it is. Anything's possible until it's not. At the end of the day, I think what we have to talk about, and you just talked about this specifically, is how much wasted energy has gone into something that is still not going to be servicing the entire United States. We're talking about special interests that are going to be the only ones benefiting from something like this. It's certainly not the athletes.
Definitely not. SCORE Act, PCSA, all these other proposals. Man, it's hard to get something through, guys. And like it seems like to me, this was inevitable that like the brokering off and collective bargaining of each conference level is just the only thing that is going to work. I really think that and stuff. And so that's going to happen probably sooner than we want. And there's going to be a lot of ramifications for the Big Ten having its own universe and stuff and actually setting up the infrastructure to make that work. But it's very clear if you can't get anything to work through these bills, that's the only route to go for governance, because there's none right now. We're still living in the Wild West of zero governance in college football. Brendan Sorsby almost got a play. The guy gambled on his own team. It took an act of God to stop him, guys. That's where we're at right now. This can't exist like that. It's got to be collective bargaining. It's got to be conference by conference and with some type of uniformity agreement in between. That is where we're going.
I think that's a good thought. I think it does make a difference that it's easier to manage in smaller pieces. This was one massive grab at power, and the whole thing is built around one thing: an antitrust exemption for the NCAA, and by derivative down to the conferences. It's a massive power grab that, at the end of the day, just like I said when it came out, it was too much, too quick, too short a time, too soon. And Cody Campbell has to take responsibility for a lot of this, because he had one intent, and that was to stop everybody from freezing Texas Tech out. And what it's essentially done is nobody's talking about Texas Tech anymore at all. They're an afterthought in all of this. It's about the ACC. It's about Miami, Florida State, Clemson, brands that we've been talking about now for over 4 years, that are the highest billable out there, and everybody else is we're just fighting for air around them. So last words before we get to comments. Anything else you want to mention, Moen?
Yeah, I would say one, this bill still has a shot in September. But these senators that are filing amendments, they're going to have to be some reasonable expectation of getting their amendments in. And I think the only way this gets to a floor vote is if 19 and 5 is removed.
Clarify what 19 and 5 is.
19 is the cap currently in the bill that says a conference can be up to 19 members, and anybody who leaves one Power 4 conference for another Power 4 conference must spend 5 years as an independent program. I think both of those are untenable. These were things that were pitched by Cody Campbell, Randy Levine, and Pete Bavacqua of Notre Dame. And these Republicans are, coming out and saying, no, we know previously 20 was the recommended cap by Republicans. And then for some reason it got changed to 19. It actually went down. It didn't, it went down. So, I think a lot of people, if they want to get a floor vote and they want to whip up enough votes in September, and by the way, this is going to drag into football season, guys. It's not going to get voted on.
It's not even going to make it.
It's not going to get voted on. It'll drag into September. And does it have the legs? Does it not have the legs? We'll find out. Again, I think for a lot of people, if 19 and 5 went away, if that was just totally removed, I think they would have the votes. But you've got people from like South Carolina, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, some of these Western schools saying, hey, no, this isn't fair, because they know a 19 and 5 basically cuts them out.
Well, so let me ask you a question, and we will get to comments. They are coming, I swear, everybody. Daniel's next up. But I thought Cloture basically put brackets around this deal, and they either put it to the floor for vote or not. Doesn't it? Yeah. How did that get broken? Because what was that, Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday, Thune put it into Cloture. The way I remember, it's just a bill. The little joke, once it was in there, it pretty much was then either put it to a floor vote or it never came out. Now, the last 3 days, it's been nothing but another amendment, 5 amendments, 8 amendments.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
Well, that is the legislative process. You can put an amendment on it right up until a vote.
So what's the Cloture do for you then if it doesn't put brackets around it?
Well, it does. It says this is the voting period, but you can put, and this happens all the time, you'll see it, it's like a major defense spending bill, and then someone will tack on $75 million in pork.
Right. Okay.
And then if you vote against it because you don't like that $75 million in pork, guess what? You're against the defense spending,
Right.
So,
right.
And that, trust me, November's just around the corner. If you haven't seen attack ads yet, you'll see plenty of attack ads where it'll be like, so-and-so voted against this.
Right.
And they'll give you a little listing. It's House resolution or Senate bill. And, and if you actually go look at those things and read the entire bill, you'd probably say, yeah, I'd vote against it too, because it's got all this other shit in there it doesn't need. So you can still put amendments up to it during the vote. Now, what you basically have to do then is they take votes on the amendment, put it in. It's a complicated process. It's Washington, man. Nothing's easy.
And any of that, and it still hasn't had a Senate vote, and it still has to go to the September when it comes back, if it comes back in any shape, form that can be voted on. Anyways, I think the calendar is the biggest killer of this thing. All these people want their special interest taken care of, but they also want to run for re-election. And I think that's what's going to end up killing it. Time is not on their side. Anyway, let's get to some super chats and comments. Thank you so much for that conversation. Other Gygax, that would be Daniel Gygax, member of the College Football Mafia family and a contributor around here. $5 super chat. The PCSA is dead. Long live the PCSA. And the amendments were a way to ensure it wouldn't get a floor vote in the Senate. The calendar works against it. Another way to put that is it was a poison pill. These additional amendments are just killing it. Greg's Disney Adventures has gifted a new membership to the College Football Mafia family. Let's go. Thank you so much, Greg. We appreciate you giving a membership. If you want to give one yourself, go to the little dollar bill next to the comment box. Leave a comment and then hit that dollar bill and you can gift a membership or do a super chat yourself. Moen, who got that thing?
And that went to Jeff Hill, 1197. Jeff
Let's
Hill,
go.
1197. If you happen to be in the chat, make sure you give a big thank you to Greg's Disney Adventures.
Let's go.
If you just saw the notification on your YouTube and you want to give a thanks, you can do it on demand in the comments section. Thank you, Greg, for that gifted membership. We owe some sounders. Ryan, I'm just going to give Ryan Willie one because he doesn't want a lot.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. Who got that?
And let me see. Who else do we have here? We have the other Gygax. Do we do? I think we got two. Yeah, we got two.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River.
Whoa. I love that. Did you say Jeff Hill? I missed that. If you said
Yes,
Jeff Hill got that.
Jeff Hill, 1197.
I want to make sure we got that.
And then for Greg's
sorry,
Disney Adventures, I don't really have any Disney clips on here for you, Greg. But I do have some Ohio State ones, and I'll play one for you here. Let's see. Thank you for the gifted membership, Greg.
And then last but not least is Bulldog, Mississippi. Woo, woo, woo! Let's go! Look at what we got. Bell's in the house. I can't see yours. Can you show everybody?
I don't want to blow everybody's eardrums up, but Bulldog, Mississippi, hey, you demand. Thank you. Bulldog, Mississippi, I got to say, he made these and sent them in to us. We much appreciate that. We needed a cowbell, and the man's going to get his cowbell now. I promise you that, okay? So let's go, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say I love my ding-dong, but my girlfriend told me not to be playing with my ding-dong all day.
They are fantastic.
Thanks, Bulldog,
Absolutely.
Mississippi.
Thank you,
Thank
Bulldog,
you, man.
Mississippi.
All right, let's get to some comments right at the top of the show. We got through some news and notes, so let's get to shout-outs. Let's go Buckshot Kid. First in the house at the College Football Mafia. Buckshot Kid's a valuable member, OG member of the College Football Mafia. Usually he's about first or second. Big Lubbock in the house, who always says first in our hearts, if anything else. First tonight. I appreciate you, Bulldog. The Big Lubbock. I apologize. TF Williams, OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Hey everyone, go Knowles. Freedom of association should be sacrosanct. Kill 19 and 5 from the bill. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Can you say this one for me? K-A-I-O? Is that
Kaio.
right, Moen? Kaio. 187. Good to see you. I can see the Protect College Sports Act changed a lot for conference realignment. I can see 2 to 3 years from now schools announcing where they will go, and I will enjoy it. No more tradition. Well, I don't know about that.
Dang.
What do you guys think about that one?
Yeah.
That's not great, right?
16
That's
months.
not great. Tongue in cheek. Friends, call me Sean. Love FSU or hate FSU. What you do know is their politicians will fight for their best interests. Could be an asset for the Big Ten or SEC. Not much if you're the ACC. That's harsh, but not untrue. Outlaw Skies, 5th. Go Buckeyes. Thank you, Outlaw Skies, for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate you. Movie Time Blues. Until the elephant in the room is addressed, I won't forecast further realignment. None of the politicians are willing to buck Cantwell, Campbell, and Cruz on that so far. Is that right?
Well, I think there's several politicians that have just done exactly that. They filed amendment. This could have just went to a floor vote, and they'd have been done with it, and they'd have been out recess, and the House could have dealt with it. But several politicians filed amendments. Again, that 19-5 thing. I think that was the straw.
And yet 19-5 was thrown in at the very end of the week last week, and everybody was celebrating. What happened?
Well, I think they probably were celebrating, and then they heard from their constituencies.
That's what I don't get. Is like, who's actually being serviced by this bill? Is it the Big Ten, SEC, or is it the little guy that's out mowing his lawn right now, looking forward to a beer and a good weekend?
That sounds like a good weekend to me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think
Cheers
it's the
to
little
you
guy mowing
guys.
the lawn.
Big freaking Friday show.
Anyway, MBM 357 back in the College Football Mafia fold. Good to have you as a member again, MBM. Can the PCSA withstand the 5-point palm exploding heart technique? I don't know about that one. You guys know that one?
I do.
Okay, all right.
Because I know the legend of Pai Mei.
What's that?
Can you explain that to us dummies out here in the West?
Yeah, there's this director. His name is Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's directed a lot of great movies. One of those movies, being his best movie in my opinion, is Kill Bill.
Okay.
And one of the things, the tutor of the bride and Bill and, some of the other people in there is a guy named Pai Mei.
Okay.
And he's famous for his 5-point exploding heart technique.
Whoa.
And he teaches it to no one. And then at the end, I'll give you spoilers if anybody hasn't seen Kill Bill. It's a fantastic movie. But at the end, the bride ends up hitting Bill with the 5-point palm exploding heart technique. And he said, he taught you that? And she goes, yeah. He goes, why didn't you ever tell me? And she goes, I don't know. I was a bad person. But, basically when you get hit with a technique, you walk 5 steps and then you die.
Okay. All right, I got you. I'm a little behind you. I know the movie Kill Bill, never saw it. It's too bloody for me, at least. The John Dry. Hey, y'all, pack the ACC. What do you think about that one?
Pack the ACC. Dang.
That's
Stuff
harsh.
them
What
in
do
a
you think
locker.
about it?
Pack them in a locker, man.
Oof.
Hey, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at the end of the day, guys? Is it gonna be ACC, Big 12, or some other iteration? Tell me your thoughts.
Man.
Don't just say, oh, could. No, I could, this, that. What do you really think? Who's gonna freaking win in this Darwinian fight of ACC and Big 12 after this realignment round?
I think everything blows up and there's a third exclusive deal. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think it's
best of the rest. We got one.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then everybody else reforms into something behind it. I don't know. I don't see a bipolar world. I'll say that. I don't see just the P2. So there has to be something to counterbalance both of them, in my opinion. That's what I think. What do you think?
Moan?
Yeah, you know what I think? I think the Big Ten and the SEC win, and I think arguing over who among the ACC and Big 12 are left. Listen, if Brett, I've got a perfect solution for this. If Brett Yormark is the commissioner, somehow there'll be either the best of the rest or the ACC will win. There's no doubt in my mind.
Dang, man. So Brett Yormark is the problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've not been happy with him. I'll say.
Have you seen the monster Big 12 logos?
I did, yeah, on the car. I did see it on the NASCAR. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Come on, Nate.
It's not too bad. I mean, as opposed to what? I guess what I'm saying. I mean, we already know it's a black hole, so I gotta. It's not the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, no, I've seen plenty of uglier things, but that doesn't mean this is isn't
I didn't
ugly.
vote
I
for
mean,
it. I didn't vote for it, so I'm not.
Do you think your school would pay $1 million to have it removed from their jersey?
Boy,
Oh,
That's
yes.
the question I've got. You get
I
$1 million.
would.
Like I think that most schools would be like, here's your $1 million back. Here's another $1 million for a fee. Don't ever put this on my jersey again. That's how bad the monster stuff is. Like on the fields, on the jerseys. Seriously, guys.
it's a 2-year experiment. So
yeah. And it's
It's a
not
2-year
even
experiment.
football season yet, and that experiment has failed, Nate.
well, to me it has, but last time I checked, nobody asked me. So, Skaven, yes, go Big Red, representing the Nebraska Cornhuskers, also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia. Hello, gentlemen. Good to see you tonight. Skaven, yes. Let's see. Bruce Harris Law is also a member of the College Football Mafia. Thank you for being here tonight, Bruce. It's becoming an unserious piece of legislation. Boomer Sooner in the house. Good to have you here, Bruce. Thank you so much, and we don't disagree with you, honestly. Kenneth Maynor, also valuable member of the College Football Mafia. He on Wednesday night he was a Florida Gator too. I don't know where East Carolina went tonight, Kenneth. But anyways, almost 20 days until kickoff time for actual football. Revisit the bill in September. I want the bill to just go away and die. I don't think there's a reason to bring it back. What do you guys think about that?
Let it go and die. Move on. On to the next one. Let's go football season. Let's go realignment. 16 months. 16
And
months.
let's say Kenneth Maynor, thank you for putting that profile pic back. That is probably my favorite profile pic of Kenneth Maynor's. That
The
is a
Florida
very
Gator
cool
one?
logo for the Florida Gators.
Okay. All right. I don't disagree. I think it is good looking. Bob Swanger, also a valuable OG member of the College Football Mafia, says, at the College Football Mafia, I agree. That was to my previous comment that said, I never wanted football season more. I mean, this offseason has just been like torture in a lot of ways because look, I got to rant here for just a second. This entire
Go ahead.
offseason has been a waste. We went from Brendan Sorsby, absorbed 6 weeks of my life, then a PCSA that the moment it was announced, I thought never had a chance in hell. And they're still not talking to the one group that's underserved, and that's the athletes. There is no CBA discussion. There is no discussion around giving these athletes more representation at the negotiating table. There is none of that. So the last 3 months of my life has been a complete waste when it's covering the news because it's like moving the deck chairs around on the Titanic. The thing's going down. So can't we just rip it off? Rip the Band-Aid off and move down the line. That's where I'm at with it. It's so frustrating. Act after act after, summary after tell me bleeding heart why you deserve to have something nobody else gets. Tell me more about how your school is so much better than everybody else. You need that escape hatch more than anybody else. I'm just tired of all of it. I'm absolutely tired of all of it. So we need a college football season more now than ever in my life, and I'm an old man. Jan Holt checking in all the way from Slovenia, saying, hey all, good to have you here, Jan.
Hey.
Let's go down. We got Caleb Ramirez says, hi everyone, go Bucks. That would be Buckeyes. Brutus
Buckeyes.
in the house, good to have you here, Caleb. Let's see, Mama Duck, Clemson Tigers also wants her school to have an escape hatch. Hello. Become a valuable super member of the College Football Mafia family. Moen, give your shout out for Mama Duck.
Absolutely. The notorious MDCT from Slim Pickens, South Carolina, in the house on the
I love
College
that.
Football Mafia's Big Freaking Friday show. Good to have you, Mama Duck.
There's a drop. You need to cut that sucker out, man. That's so good. Good to have you here tonight. That was fantastic. David Kreitzer, the most interesting time in the history of college football drama. David Kreitzer is a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Jose.
You know what? I gotta say something, Kay.
Sure.
Let me just
Yeah, go
step
ahead.
in here, Kay. So
Sure.
I know that this isn't for everybody, but like there's some college football sickos that really, if they had any free time, they'd be doing analysis by themselves to show to nobody and digging down to the Reddit boards to get any little inkling of realignment information. There's these sickos that want to know every source, what every word was, what every piece of information was. And one of those sickos is me. So, you know what? I'm just saying, guys, like, hey, in the off season, I love college football talk. In the season, I love trash talking. I love the games too. But guys, in my household, in the Wild Ute household, we don't watch baseball. We don't watch any other sports. Basically, I have a deal with my wife. I can talk 24/7 about college football, but nothing else. This is all I freaking got. You guys can't take this away from me. Don't take it away. I gotta have it. Thank you for being part of our community.
I love that a lot. Thank you so much, you. That's absolutely the funnest part of the whole deal. You're exactly right. Jose saying, what is that monster there, Moen? What's that one?
Looks like some kind of T-Rex.
Yeah, I can't tell what it is, but Jose's saying that tonight on Friday evening, regardless. Manic Reactions, Moen with the.
That's right.
You know what that one is?
The
are inside jokes, I
Ohio
feel.
State University.
Okay, see? You're good with these things. I love it. Amy says, crazy happenings, go Utes. There you go,
Utes.
Philip.
Utes.
True Master checking in. And what are these? Alarm bells? What are those? Sirens. Is that right? We got that one right?
Some news, PCSA dies and ramification time. We should go school by school, and I want to hear exactly if this was good or bad news. That would be
All right, go
interesting
ahead.
content. Like, okay, like let's just talk. Here, let's go get to more comments, and let me cook something up for us, guys.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Jack Matheson says, nice uni, Ute. Getting a shout out. You're not
Cool.
Under Armour anymore, though, right? Don't you
For
drop
this
that?
year, one last year. You guys want to hear something? I know this is going to upset some fans. I got to be honest. Like, this was crazy to me. Okay, so I went earlier this week and stuff to one of the more popular bars actually in Salt Lake City and everything, and I was just hanging out. And there was like a big Ute logo, right? Of course, there's a bunch of Ute stuff downtown, right? It's downtown Salt Lake City. But this popular bar actually still had the old Pac-12 logo up with Utes.
Oh, really? Wow.
Serious.
Well.
It was like Utah and Pac-12 still, and I'm like thinking to myself, what? Dang. Anyway,
It's like been
so
4 years now?
it's
mean, I
been
guess
a
you
couple
paid
years,
for
but
it.
I guess they haven't peeled it off, put the Big 12 sticker on. This is an old Utah Pac-12. I took the sticker off, actually, the old Pac-12 sticker right here. So
okay.
this is the last year of Under Armour for the Utes. We're moving to Adidas.
And I have high hopes you guys, Adidas will clean that up, because I have been disappointed with the last couple of years.
I like our unis. I love them.
Listen,
You guys
gotta
can
have a
do
Nike
better.
on there.
Yours
What?
is Nike?
There we go.
Yeah, mine's Jump Band 23. I could put on my Cougar.
Wait, you
shirt.
got
Should've done
you
that.
got Jumpman over there
Yeah.
in Provo?
Yeah.
You're Nike? I thought you guys were. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not Jumpman, but you're Nike, right? You're not.
Basketball.
You're not Jordan.
Basketball is Jordan. Football is
Interesting. I
Nike.
don't know.
Yeah, because you know why? Because of
The Bansa. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Morris Simmons checking in saying, hello, everyone. Go Noles. Morris Simmons is a
What's up?
super fan of the Florida State Seminoles and also an OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Thank you so much, Morris. Daniel Gorby, man, a lot of Florida State people in the house tonight. Daniel Gorby, also a Florida State Seminole. Hello, College Football Mafia, also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Edward, the Auburn Tiger, says, let's go. Where were you guys on Wednesday night when I had my show? I would love to talk to you guys. I had a bunch of conversations with good people Wednesday night. I missed you, Edward. I missed, let's see, Morris is called in. Come on, guys. You got to do better than that. Let's see here. It's my fault because I wasn't Tuesday. I had to work Tuesday night. It's my fault. I was Wednesday. Daryl, CRH, says, hi, all. Go Utes. There you go, Utes. Third shout out. Let's see. BYU football. That's Shonsky. Says, no, it's not. I'm not sure what he's saying. No, it's not to, but it's good to have you here, Shonsky, representing the BYU Cougars. Love sports. Let's go Mountaineers. Moen, we got another Mountaineer in the house.
There you go. I hope they enjoyed that Ozzy Osbourne singing Country Roads
That was
to
pretty good.
the theme of War Pigs.
Rock and Rant, College Football Express in the house. Also somebody that helps us around here as a contributor at the College Football Mafia family. They dog walk the Cody Campbell Crying Act. They dog walk the Cody Campbell Crying Act. I mean, it really is it just dead? I mean, shouldn't it? It's going to just kill that already.
And by the way, Bomber, I know we've moved on from headlines, but I sent you another tweet.
Okay.
Hold up.
All right. Okay. No, we're never outside of headlines.
I don't think there's any Missouri fans in here, but
Gosh.
I
Let's
think
see.
they want to. I think Kansas fans will enjoy this.
Okay, well, I take no responsibility for this. I did not clear it. This is Moen bringing this up. Let's go here and let's go back here. So I haven't pre-read this, so I take no responsibility. College Football Kings, a senator from Missouri. Let me post the link because we share links whether I like them or not because we're using them. There we go. Senator from Missouri introduced a resolution recognizing the Tigers, that would be the Missouri Tigers, as national champions of the 1960 college football season. Senator Eric Schmidt, introduced a resolution during meeting this week recognizing the Tigers for a claim to the 1960 national title. The measure was passed with no objections. Missouri went 10-1 that year, defeated number 4 Navy in the Orange Bowl and finished ranked 5th. So if they finished 5th, that's not even close to first. Their claim for the national title stems from the fact that their lone loss, 23-7 defeat versus Kansas, was vacated by the Big 8 Conference because Kansas had an ineligible player as a result of a recruiting violation. This is in 1960? They had recruiting violations?
Dang.
Wow. Okay. The NCAA never vacated the loss, but the Big 8 Conference did and granted Missouri a win. Aren't vacated losses just not losses? They're not actually wins. You didn't win the football game, you just didn't lose, right? Isn't that how it works? I think that's how it's supposed to work. Missouri's 5th ranked finish in 1960 is their second best season ever, and now in the eyes of the Senate, they have a claim to the title. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Kansas
again.
Jayhawks. I don't necessarily. I don't agree with this at all. But whatever.
So they're going back in time and collecting championships, huh?
I'm saying this for all my Jayhawk fans in the house, man. This is the one. You can say you beat Missouri so bad they had to run to the Senate 66 years later to claim a national championship despite being ranked 5th. Everybody knows the 1960 national champions were the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Oh, is that right?
Oh,
okay,
That's right. And now Mizzou
okay.
is trying to take that one away from Greg Pflugar.
Whoa.
But, you know, it's
Wow.
just... It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous to. I mean, what are we gonna do next? Like, I introduced a resolution that Ohio has the best peanut butter anywhere in the United States of America.
They do that, you know. Those things.
Yeah, I know they do that, but that's
crazy.
you know, come on. They're worried about recess and getting all this shit done, and they're introducing resolutions about a bowl game or about a game that the Big 8 vacated, but NCAA didn't. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I just thought it was funny. You know, I hate to slow the show down, but I think it was worth it.
No, it goes back to what you said at the very beginning of the show, though. What kind of a waste of time? How much money and resources went in to all this crap this summer that my taxes are too damn high. I can't put my kids into a house. We're living 3 and 4 families in housing. Everybody's spending, 10% interest every year now going to high interest rates. It's ridiculous, and yet we're wasting an entire summer on legislation that never, ever, ever will be approved. It's insane.
And it's what's insane too is like it has so many ramifications if it ever did get done. Like, I mean, seriously, what about like the changes if PCSA actually got done? Like a 19 school cap,
true.
5 years of like antitrust, 5 years to play, like all this wild stuff that's in it. So it's like basically like a big swing, like a 360 back to the norm when this stuff doesn't get done. There's so much whiplash in college football, especially in the offseason. Like, my gosh, like you think you're going this way. Whiplash, boom, you're going back to exactly where you were. You have no idea where you're going ever and stuff. It's wild, man. So it is fun. It's exciting to talk about. And like if it does get passed, it changes the freaking world too, right? So
that's true.
Talk about it.
That's true. Trent Brown, my brother's namesake, in the house. My brother just had a birthday, by the way. Why is Wild Ute wearing Under Armour Lol. Trent Brown isn't a
Guys,
valid
the
BYU
Utes are with
Cougar.
Under Armour for one last season here. This is just to remember the old times, okay? The old days. This is no. I took the Pac-12 logo off. Look, it's been removed from the jersey,
We
so
see that.
I'm a Big 12 man. I'm a Big 12 man.
Kenneth Maynard, $10 super chat. Notre Dame will be the lone independent soon. UConn will become the 18th member of the ACC, a proactive measure and needed to balance their 9-game conference scheduling format. That takes them to 18 teams. The ACC would be at 18 if they took on UConn. Look, at the end of the day, anybody who thinks the PCSA is going to do anything for or against Notre Dame, you're crazy. They keep their status regardless. So anybody that wants to rein in Notre Dame, this act is not going to do that. They're still going to be independent. They're still going to have their own path to the playoff and win a national championship. Shortcut, by the way. They don't play conference championship. You got to respect the power, though, man. I wish BYU was Notre Dame. I wish I could get away with that. If you can get
Give
it,
him a sounder, will you? Can you give that pirate sounder, Moan? We got
Sure,
that sounder.
yeah, go ahead.
We owe about 1,000 sounders. I want to hear that Badger sounder 1,000 times too.
You can
No,
do
no.
no Badger
Ryan Willie only
sounders.
wants one.
Yeah, remember
so.
Ryan said one.
Brian doesn't want more.
No, he doesn't. But
Do
Bowen,
what you
go
want,
ahead.
Mr.
If you got
Pirate
sounders.
History. You are a pirate.
Is that it? We don't know any more?
I have to go back and see who else we missed. I got Greg's, got we owe one to Trent Brown.
Which is
He wants to know why
Cougar.
he's wearing that garbage Under Armour thing.
Trent Brown is a BYU Cougar.
He's a BYU Cougar,
Yes, let's go.
but
BYU
I'm going to have to
Cougars.
sit through this ad because even though I bought the program, it doesn't like it. Definitely a crime committed on you right there.
All right, let's go. Let's see what else we got here. We got Evil Badger Ryan Willie. The ACC will kill the Big 12. So Evil Badger Ryan Willie saying that the ACC eats the Big 12.
Well, if that's the case, there's going to be a lot of exit fees involved too, because Big 12 moving to ACC would be costly because you got to figure out exactly how much the grant of rights would cost. And also the membership agreement, the 99-year membership agreement. There's multiple contracts you're negotiating out of. We know what the ACC would have to pay. We don't know what the Big 12 would have to pay. So it's more than you kind of think, actually, given like the lower dollar of the contracts. So I don't know. I mean, so Ryan Willie, just for a hypothetical, if the ACC used exit fee money from Florida State, from Miami, and put that into a bank account, and basically help Big 12 schools pay exit fees with those funds to poach them, that's the only way that would work in my point of view.
I
That
agree
could
with
happen too. Like to
It's
save
not
the poaching
impossible.
fees,
Yeah.
throw them as like a signing bonus to pay to poach Big 12. I think that's less likely than the Big 12 actually getting the ACC or even a best of the rest, but it's possible.
All right,
Very good.
let me give him his sounder. He gets one sounder per super chat. He doesn't like a string of them.
Stop! He's
Oh.
already dead.
I just realized my mic is not down. I'm seeing a note here from Love Sports. Moen, I hear you okay, but the other two guys need to turn the volume up. I didn't have my mic down, so I apologize about that, Love Sports. I hadn't seen that note before, so thanks for the reminder. I don't know why Ute would be low. Have you turned your volume down, Ute? Do you know?
No, but I'll blast it up if everyone wants
Well,
to
don't
hear me
blast
more.
it. It's already pretty. I know I'm loud. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to hear me at all. But anyway, thank you very much for that reminder, Love Sports. I appreciate it. Doc Gibb, NC State in the house. Does realignment proceed maybe even faster in spite of the PCSA GOAT? The big scoop, as it were, by Greg Fugard, peek around the corner, friend of the show. I don't personally believe that will happen. In fact, 20 is the max for me, so that isn't a big scoop unless you're the SEC. That's 4 teams. I think 4 is a big chunk. I don't think so. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Moan.
Yeah, I don't know anything about goats, so I'm not a big goat guy. Couldn't tell you anything about them. As far as realignment goes, Yeah, listen, realignment doesn't stop, man. It's like the tides. You can't stop the tides. You can't stop the sun from rising, the moon from rising, the price of gas from rising. You can't stop these things. So, I mean, you're not going to stop realignment. But I'll get back to you. I'll see, there might be a guy near me who knows goats. And if so, we'll have him on as a guest.
Ute?
Hey, come back to me on this one because I'm setting something up for the discussion. This
Okay,
this
come
will
back to you.
parlay
Okay.
right into that discussion too.
Okay.
So
all
I'll
right.
answer that just in a few minutes, okay?
Okay, yeah, we've still got a little bit of time for that. Peek around the corner. Greg Fugard happens to be right here, right now. Bite me, Mizzou. So I got to believe that was a bit of a troll job there, Moen. Were you and Greg working together in cahoots on those comments and stuff?
Not on that one, but I'll play a sounder for you, Greg. But first, I got to get a little wolf pack for Doc Gibbs.
Oh, heck yeah. It's my favorite.
Let's go. Love that
Yeah,
one.
it's good.
Now, I know wolves do eat goats. And for Greg,
I'll be deep in the cold, cold ground before I recognize Missouri.
Oh my gosh.
There you
What
go.
is this hammering Missouri tonight? I don't have anything against Missouri. Kenneth Maynard, $5 super chat. Florida is seriously considering claiming a share of the 1984 national championship. Go for it. You guys do whatever you're going to do. History and legacy's done. You can't retroactively claim the national
I think Ohio State should declare for a share of the 2007 national championship against Florida.
Sure, why not? Sure.
Yeah, they had
So-
Aaron Hernandez on their team, who was a violent murderer, and as a result of that, Ohio State should have that trophy.
Okay. All right.
That's a fair point.
Let's get to I don't even. That sort of goes without comment, I think. Rock says Nate and Ute way low volume wise for everyone else, or it's just me. I can hear Moen fine. So it was multiple people reporting the audio was wrong. My audio was wrong because I didn't have my mic down. I don't know what's wrong with Ute's. We got to work on his. Let me get to a few more comments, and then we will get to Ute's activity. Almost done there, Ute? David
almost done.
Floyd. Florida getting 3 teams into the P2 while Texas has 2 would be an embarrassment. Texas Tech and state leadership need to get off the sidelines and make the SEC or Big Ten happen. Texas has the resources. David Floyd is a Texas Tech Red Raider, isn't he? Do I have that right? Do I have his school correct?
Probably, but I would say, SMU might have something to say about that. TCU might have something to say about that.
See,
They're
that's
in
why it's
much
so
larger.
messy. That's why it's
What?
so messy.
Again, they're in big media markets. So if you're going to put a third team from Texas into the Power 2, it's going to have to be from a media market. So it's going to be SMU or TCU.
Man, that would just... Marsh Holy Grail, exactly what Wild Ute is talking about. Rating of the ACC for more than 3 teams is one of the main reasons the PCSA is still alive. Cantwell and Dems won't give up on 19 or 20 max. Marsh Holy Grail is also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Some of you contributes, and we talk about the college football playoff format, which we haven't gotten to yet tonight. What do you think about that, Ute?
I think that the mic's fixed. Mic check right there. Sorry, y'all.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check. Yeah, I
I
think
hear.
that... No moan? No moan?
No, your mic is still low, Ute.
Unreal. Okay. Let me fix it. Go back to moan.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, pull a comment back up there if you would.
Oh, yeah, sure. You bet.
Rating of the ACC for more than 3 teams is one of the main reasons the PCSA is still alive. Cantwell and Dems won't give up on 19 or 20 max. Well, then they can give up on the bill already because, look, these senators from states where schools need that cap to be removed and they need that 5-year independence clause removed are going to gum up the works, and you're not going to get anything. You're going to get nothing. Cantwell's going to be left with egg on her face that she couldn't get this bill through Congress. And Ted Cruz will be the same way. He'll be there with egg on his face because he couldn't get this bill through Congress. And when it comes down to more than anything else is Cody Campbell. At the end of the day, Cody Campbell has now swung for the fences and will likely miss on it because they wanted to placate Randy Levine, Pete Bavacqua, and Cody Campbell.
Okay.
They'll never give up. They just don't have the support. They don't have the support. I don't know how they get the support. It looks less and less likely. There's less than 10% chance PCSA is going to happen. So I think that you have to start planning for the alternative, which is the reality of today, and that's the world that we're living in, of unstructured college football and mass realignment and mass hysteria, no NIL rules and $100 million rosters. We're still living in that world. I don't think that's going anywhere, guys, until we get collective bargaining. I really don't. I don't care what Cruz and Cantwell think. I just don't think it gets done. There's very low probability this happens now. It's we're going to be living in the same world we're living in. That's what I'm saying here. So get ready for, in 16 months, mass realignment.
And we kind of have, and we can finish on this, and then we'll get to your activity. The bottom line, and this is what we've been talking about for years, is everybody's planning for that 2029, 2030, 2031 media window. The Big 12 and the Big 10 both are going to renegotiate their deals. And I would imagine probably the SEC will as well, just to sort of stay on pace with the Big 10. The ACC is the one that really can't go renegotiate anything until 2036. So that's where the thinking originally was, that Ute and I both agreed that if there was going to be a conference that won out, it would be the Big 12 because of the points he's already made. But at the end of the day, it may all change. The dynamic might all be upside down now because of what's happened this summer, whether the PCSA passes or not. So I want to do a quick reset. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. It is the Big Freaking Friday show right here on the College Football Mafia family or Mafia channel. Make sure you follow us all on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're on X, switch over and open another window to College Football Mafia. Go to that channel. We're getting our subs up. We're trying to push to 7,000 as quickly as possible. I'm not sure what the count is today, but we've got a lot of people watching us live right now, and a bunch of you are on X. So do us a favor. Do us a solid, as it were. Open up another page or channel and go to YouTube, College Football Mafia. Hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, we invite you to become a member of the College Football Mafia family. Moen, what comes with that?
What comes with that is you get a little logo, a loyalty badge for every month you're a member next to your name. You'll see all kinds of them. You'll see OGs out there. You'll see good fellas. You'll see wise guys, all kinds of things out there. You also get access to the emojis, the custom emojis in chat. We can do Ute's O-face, Ute's Utters, a pack of Tarleton, Greg the Cooler, Nate the Pimp, Pimp. So you get access to all those emojis plus more. And then we defer to members' comments when we're doing comment reads. And you get access to members-only videos, members-only live streams, very cool stuff. Unfortunately, I was sick this week. I've been down Monday through Thursday with migraines, so I couldn't get my Moen Confidential recorded. That'll be coming out tomorrow, though. So I apologize to the members for it being late, but I will have it out there tomorrow for you guys.
Very, very good. Next week, you'll get a live show. I'll be hosting a live show on Wednesday, just for members. Tuesday nights are a call-in night where everybody can come in, call in and tell the world how you're feeling and where the frustration is or where you're cheering on for your school. We do that Tuesday nights. And then, as always, Ute has Wild Ute, Professor Ute of Wild Ute University. Ute, what's your next show coming up?
We're looking at evaluations for Big Ten, SEC. We're comparing those and see which one's growing faster, which one's growing slower, which one is overtaking the other. It's going to be a pretty interesting discussion. Watch out for it this week, y'all. It's going to be the Big Ten versus the SEC evaluations conference-wide.
Very good. All right, are you ready for your little show you want to do? Let's go.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. I think the folks are going to like this because I'm looking forward to this discussion too. Okay, here we go. Let's get down to really brass tacks here. This is where my mind goes. We're talking about PCSA. We've been talking about a 19 conference cap. We've been talking about realignment stopping. We've been talking about the world changing. And now we're talking about none of it happening. Okay? So what we're talking about in this segment here is the winners and the losers of the PCSA looking like it's going to fail. Less than 10% shot of the PCSA happening. And so we're going to go school by school and looking at the ACC schools in particular. And if this was a success, a good thing or a bad thing for each school, if it's a good thing, thumbs up, bad thing, thumbs down. Clemson, starting up, Moan. Is the PCSA looking like it's failing a good thing or a bad thing for Clemson?
Oh, it's a good thing for Clemson. Because, that 19 cap was going to impact Clemson and Florida State the most.
Nate?
Yeah, I'd have to say I agree with Moen. I think it's a good thing if it dies.
I think that for Clemson, it's definitely a good thing because the odds of you getting into the SEC, if it can only go 3 schools, you are about to be the odd school out. It's probably going to be Florida State, Virginia, and North Carolina. This is a huge win for Clemson. Give a big fat thumbs up because they are in the Power 2 now if the PCSA is gone. They're going to get in the SEC, guys, if it expands to 20 or perhaps 24. So big thumbs up. Florida State, Nate, is this a good thing or a bad thing for the Noles? The PCSA looking like it's failing and going to die.
I think Florida State fans have to be cheering against this thing, in my opinion. If the 19 cap goes in, it'll be a race to try to get something done before the act is put in power. Florida State is one of those. I mean, you mentioned Clemson being on the edge. The SEC, we don't know how many schools they may pick up. They may only go 1 or 2 schools deep. So they need that cap to be higher than 19, which I think is a silly number anyway. So I would say it would be great for the PCSA to die for Florida State fans.
Mode?
Yeah, I agree. It's just like Clemson. They need that 19 cap gone.
Yeah.
It's interesting, even if it was 20, I think both Clemson and Florida State want the cap because I think they both get in. So that number really makes a difference.
That 19 cap does make a difference. Yeah. With Florida State, you're still a huge bubble team in a 19-team situation. This is a major victory, though. Florida State and Clemson are going to get into the SEC or the Big Ten for the Noles. It's still a possibility. But this is a massive victory for both of them. No doubt about it. Thumbs up. They want mass realignment because they're going to be some of the first movers. We know that. Now going down to the Miami Hurricanes, a little bit more interesting. They're desired by both the SEC and the Big Ten, especially by the Big Ten. They had a chance to get in even under the 19-team cap, maybe even more so than Clemson and FSU. Is this a good thing, guys, or a bad thing for Miami, this PCSA looking like it's dead?
For Miami, I think Miami's the biggest winner in all of this.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think like Miami might think they're the 19 for the Big Ten. I think there's an opportunity there that Notre Dame just tells everybody they're going to walk. They're not going to get in. So
check out my members-only video tomorrow, Nate. I think you'll be surprised.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll do that. So anyways, I at the end of the day, I think the PCSA dying is probably better than not. But 19 is not the worst number for Miami and the Big Ten, in my opinion.
So, Mo, and you say this is a massive win for Miami?
Massive win for Miami.
Wow. That's surprising. I can't wait to check out your members-only video tomorrow. I would have thought Miami was fine either way. I'm with Nate that I would have thought Miami could have snuck into 19 spot for Big Ten or maybe even gotten into the SEC. There's chatter about them getting in with, North Carolina and Virginia, guys. Like Miami is the hot commodity right now. And realignment talk and based on what sources are saying. Until Moen, you're saying something different. Gee, that's why I can't wait to check that out tomorrow. But we're going to say they're a big winner, though. Based on Moen's intel here, Miami's going to be fine. They're getting in the Power 2, especially if there's no PCSA. How about the North Carolina Tar Heels, Nate?
I don't know. For 2 years, I've heard UNC is the most hot property on the face of the planet right? Everybody and their dog wants UNC. That may or may not be true. I think a lot of that was politicking. My little hashtag to North Carolina is, what do you do with NC State? Is it an all everything or nothing type situation for UNC? So, boy, I would rather have the previous 3 brands just for football before I get to North Carolina. It all comes down with the conference values. So, I'd have to say probably it's a good thing it dies, but I'm still unclear as to where UNC ends up.
Yeah. Moan.
See, I think you needed a third option here.
Flat.
Doesn't affect North Carolina at all.
Yeah.
If it was at 19, 5 years, and they got that 180-day clause pushed through there by Ashley Moody, they could leave. So yeah, I don't think it probably will go with good. I think it's better good than it is bad, but I just really don't think it does much for North Carolina. It doesn't matter either way.
I'm saying, like, it's just good. You never know what could happen. North Carolina is probably getting in either way, like you're saying. I agree with you. But if there's no PCSA and there's realignment that goes up to what we think it's going to go up to, they're definitely in a better circumstance. So it's not a loss at all for North Carolina. In Virginia, guys, I think Virginia is kind of in that same exact boat. North Carolina was a little bit safer than Virginia based on Virginia's lack of football prowess. But they're still probably looking pretty rosy for the SEC or the Big Ten. Expanding it out even more, not having a 19-school cap, it's got to be a good thing for Virginia. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Yeah, I think you have to agree with that. But again, like North Carolina, I could see Virginia not going into either conference. I could see them staying in an elite ACC too. What is realignment about? It's been about football historically. Now it might change.
Money.
It's been about football, which equals money. Where's Virginia in that? They're like a carry forward. They're like a +1. They've been in conference, conversations about do they go to the SEC? Really? Does the SEC want Virginia? If they do want Virginia, what do you again do with UNC, North Carolina State? What happens with them in the state of Carolina? So I don't know. I don't know about Virginia. I think it's kind of like North Carolina. I think you could put a dash there. I don't think the 19 affects them one way or the other.
You guys want to dash then? Should we do a dash for UNC?
I don't know what Moen thinks.
I would give him a green thumb.
Give him a green thumb. Okay.
Sure. I'm not going to disagree. I don't have a strong feeling about them one way or the other.
So Virginia, green thumb. They're in a better position to get into the Power 2 with the PCSA gone. Now, Moan, let it rip, my friend, on Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, the king of 19-5. This is not good news for Notre Dame. This will allow the ACC teams that want out to get out without having to worry about a 5-year independence deal or a 19-team cap per conference. Notre Dame will no longer be able to maintain a quality football schedule with just the 5 ACC teams. They'll have to come up with other considerations, whether it's joining a conference like the Big Ten or entering a scheduling agreement with a conference like the Big Ten. But I think at this point, depending on what the Big Ten does, Notre Dame may not have a choice. They may be forced to join the Big Ten. And part of that we'll talk about tomorrow, but some things are going to be beyond Notre Dame at this point.
Let me ask a question back to both of you. At the beginning of all of this, what was the 2 years ago? What was the proposal that Notre Dame signed off on for the playoff? It was the 70 team. Was it the Smash Capital?
Smash Capital.
Right.
Yeah.
They want maximum flexibility to be able to schedule anybody and then also compete for the national championship. That's why they supported something like that. the PCSA is kind of like the force down your throat smash capital, and yet I don't think it matters one way or the other. This is just something I disagree with Moen on. It's okay. We agree to disagree around here. I don't think Notre Dame is forced to do anything until somebody comes along, big bullies them. Maybe it's a congressional bill. I don't know. Somebody says you have to be in a playoff. Sorry, you have to be in a conference to compete for the national championship. I don't know how that could be legislated. But let's assume that did. That is the only way Notre Dame is forced to do anything. Notre Dame's going to do Notre Dame. So, in my opinion, you should put a little fire in there, a little couple crossed pieces of wood and some fire on top of it. They're just watching time go by. In my opinion, I don't think they're forced to do anything.
I think that the PCSA dying, looking like it's almost dead, is very bad news for Notre Dame. Although, really, at the end of the day, is Notre Dame better off in the Big Ten or independent? I would argue they're better off in the Big Ten, honestly. So maybe it's for the best for Notre Dame. I think they are going to fall financially behind too much. It's not going to be tenable. But I think based on their desires to remain independent, this is a terrible loss. This was like the Notre Dame bill right here. They'll lock everybody out. Notre Dame will never have to jump into the Big Ten. And they'll always have that quasi spot open at 19. But if the PCSA dies, then we're back to the Big Ten maybe going to 24 teams and Notre Dame being on the freaking fence to have to make a decision here. So it's the definite thumbs down to me.
Okay.
Let's get to comments, guys, and then we'll jump into some more.
Well, let's do this. 5 new memberships, Moen. 5 new memberships from the Bulldog, Mississippi State Bulldogs in the house. SEC ruling. Let's go. That's mine, right there. Thank you so much, Bulldog. Great to have you here tonight. Go ahead, Moen.
Yes, Bulldog, Mississippi. Thank you for letting me play with my ding dong, and thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. And those went to Gator Bait Matt.
Let's go.
Braska Rascal. KSU Father J. Chef Mall. Oh my. 88. Oh my. You all received a gifted memberships from Bulldog, Mississippi. If you're in the chat, make sure you drop a thank you, a gracias, whatever you prefer, in the chat to thank Bulldog, Mississippi. Bulldog, Mississippi, we appreciate your continued generosity. I appreciate you making this sweet bell for me. And let me show you something, guys. Look at this bell. That is not just printed on there. That's embossed.
It is.
And it's pretty sick. So, I mean, this is not, just, vinyl or paint put on there. It's a high quality bell. So, I don't know if Bulldog does this professionally, but if he does, let us know and we'll send business your way. Cause I mean, this is a pretty sweet cowbell. So thank you for those gifted memberships. Make sure you thank Bulldog Mississippi in the chat. Or if you're watching on demand, leave a thanks in the comment section. Now that you're a member, you get a members access for 30 days. It allows you access to members-only emotes, member-only videos. There'll be one dropping tomorrow, and member-only live streams, which will be dropping next week.
Let's go. And I would just say, if you've received something for free and you want good karma in your life, which I believe in, pay it forward. Give somebody else a gifted membership, something that makes you, not only helps you and helps your well-being, but helps somebody else out, gives them an opportunity to enjoy all the benefits that we have here at the College Football Mafia channel. We appreciate all of you. We're only here for you. We don't do this for ourselves, I promise. Sometimes at our own detriment, we do stuff so that we can help you guys out. And so we appreciate all the love and all the things that we receive from you. Certainly very unselfish, and we appreciate you all the time. $10 super chat from Nathan Jones, also a member of the College Football Mafia family. BYU Cougars, let's go. If the PCSA don't pass and gets kicked down the road or even squashed, will the Big Ten and SEC expand now? 26, 27, and will they go to 20, 22, or 24? I'll get my answer out first. No, I don't think there's a rush to do it, and I think the earliest it would happen is on Utes' timeline. By next December, we might hear something. That's my opinion. 24, I think, is too many. Maybe even 22. I think 20 is the chewy center of the lollipop, but I don't know. What do you think?
24 for Big Ten, 20 for SEC, with SEC considering maybe going to 22 and maybe stretching to 24. Definitely 20, though, for SEC and real strong Big Ten. Look, Big Ten's already at 18, guys, and there's a massive land space between USC and everybody else. They need to cure that. That's not going to – adding 2 teams ain't going to cure that because you're not going to go out west again with 2 teams. It's a problem, guys. That's not solved with 20. It's going to 24 for the Big Ten. And the PCSA going away is great news for anybody that wants to get in on that 24 pack right there. So 20 and 24.
Moan?
I would say 2028 would be the closest number I would look to as far as teams getting out, preparing to join. I think the Big Ten's going to start with 20. I think they've got 2 schools that they're locked in on. And then they're going to see where they want to go from there. Because I think, it's easy to say, well, we're going to 24 and we're taking these 6 teams. I think it's a lot easier for the Big Ten to say, we're going to 24, but let's take these 2 teams and then evaluate. And let's take those 2 teams and then reevaluate and then take those 2 teams. So I don't believe in the big scoop theory. I also don't believe that's what's going to happen in the SEC. I believe the SEC is going to do something very similar where they're going to look at it and say, okay, we want these 2 teams. Can we get rid of the Wolfpack backpack? If we can't, we've got to take them, so that takes up a slot. We need to get into Virginia. Virginia Tech would obviously be the better option for them. I think Virginia Tech's more of an SEC brand. And let's assume that, Big Ten takes Virginia. There's 3 spots right there. Now you go to get a Clemson and a Florida State, and you're back at an uneven number. So then you've got to go grab somebody else. And it's either going to be Kansas or Oklahoma State. So again, I think all these things are kind of evolving constantly. So I don't think you can just say, it's going to be this, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. I think start with 2, see what the landscape turns into, start with 2 more, see what the landscape is. Just
what do you
my
think
opinion.
the master plan is, the big picture? Like, where's the goal? Is it to 20 or is it going to get to 24?
I don't know. Maybe the Big Ten's happy at 20. Maybe they get somebody at 19 and 20 and they go, that's enough for us. It's just dilutive at this point.
Yes. I think that's it. It's where's the money coming from for those other brands? I completely agree with that.
So, I mean, unless you've got,
Where does the money
like
come from?
You would have to have Notre Dame. Notre Dame would have to carry a lot of the weight for additional teams.
Yep. That's it.
Miami would cover their own weight.
I agree.
If you're taking Duke, Duke's already agreed to cover their own fare. I mean,
but it's kind of work fare though. Duke isn't coming because they're bringing some massive football brand that's going to carry into the decades forward. They're coming because they're paying their way in, like SMU did. Now it worked out for SMU. Do you see Duke competing for a Big Ten championship or an SEC championship? No. That's okay. Which is a
but I mean, like, rich guys get stuff done.
Is.
I mean, Duke's a rich guy. He's a rich, smug guy that's good at basketball, and like
he
can pay his own way. Don't even worry about the money. Basically, you make more money, you Adam.
All of those things are true. I'm not saying those things are not true. I'm saying that if we're looking forward, and again, it all boils down to realignment has been about football. It has not been about basketball. So,
Maryland and Rutgers?
That was at the time when media markets mattered the most, right? The DMAs, how much you were getting from ESPN and Big Ten, Fox, all these viewership numbers. The mechanics have changed. It's not so much about DMAs as it is, what do you bring with you? Do you bring a rivalry? Do you bring some sort of extra sauce that makes you more valuable as a brand in football? It's about football. So I just don't think there's enough money.
But it's not just all about football. Football is the most important part, But when you have to have the market, basketball, there's a lot of different factors. There's 10, 20, 50 factors.
Okay.
Football's the strongest, but like if you don't have that, you can compensate in other ways. And if Duke's willing to pay their way in to the Big Ten, then that cures all the money concerns that you're mentioning. It's like, where's the money coming from? You don't need any more. Duke's paying their way in. Like you're literally making more money by Duke being in the conference. You don't even need to ask your media partners for any more. They're paying you to be in the conference. Like that's the new way and stuff. It cures the money issue that for the other schools. And so I think that there's just a new world after SMU that we're going to be looking at for a lot of schools.
Yeah, and I would like to add this, Bomber. Duke won the ACC last year in football.
8-5.
And they won the ACC. So
And didn't get
Miami
in
went
the
on a
playoff.
fantastic. If Miami went on a fantastic run in the playoffs last year, but Duke was the ACC champion.
8-5.
And before that, where did Texas A&M get their latest coach from? So Texas
I don't know
A&M
what
hired Mike Elko from
Okay.
Duke.
Okay.
So obviously they were doing something right in Duke football. The last two coaches they've hired, because the SEC stole one. Manny Diaz came down there and he's had a pretty damn decent program his first 2 years there. So do I think Duke are world beaters? No, but I don't think Duke is the bottom of the barrel in football either.
You put them in the Big Ten. Where do they compete today? Tell me where Duke is in their. Are they 6-6? Are they a 5-7 program in the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Probably close to that.
Okay,
but I think
and when was
again,
the last
I think
national championship they won?
again,
Since NIL came out, they haven't won a national championship either. Things have changed. NIL has changed everything. Paying players, spreading out the talent. Going 8-5 and winning conference is not good enough. You don't get in the playoff. What did it do for the ACC? It did nothing. In fact, if anything, it hurt the perception of the ACC that you had a team that went 8-5. Miami won for Miami. Miami didn't win for the ACC. That didn't help
Right,
the
but
ACC at
Duke-
all.
at the end of the day, Duke was the ACC champion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. You guys' opinion is just as valid as mine. I'm just in this regard. I think money and football drive realignment. At the end of the day, I guess that's where I'll end. I will take off. I've already taken up a little extra of you guys' time. I appreciate you being here tonight, Moen. I'm glad you're feeling better. Thanks for letting us know. And yeah, if I would have known you weren't feeling well earlier, I would have said hi. I would have shouted out anyway. I appreciate everybody watching tonight. It's been a fun night. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching on X, jump over on YouTube, go to College Football Mafia, hit the subscribe button. Consider becoming a new member of the College Football Mafia family. And I will see you all Tuesday night for a live call-in show. It should be a lot of fun. We'll have to see how what this weekend looks like for the PCSA. Can we please start talking about football? I want to talk about football. I want to talk preseason. Let's start doing some rankings. That's what I'm looking for this next week. So thanks to everybody for all your super chats, all your new memberships. I appreciate every one of you. Thanks for helping keep this College Football Mafia alive. And I will see you guys later. Thank you, Ute. Thank you, Moen. Go Bombers. Go Cougars. Go Seahawks. By the way, if you're not a Seahawks fan, you don't know anything about Seattle, I understand that. Go to Hard Knocks on HBO, and you will watch the best preseason 4 NFL series that you will ever see. It is this Seahawks season. Hard Knocks, Seattle, and Seahawks are going to repeat. That's all I'm saying. We'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate you. Peace out.
Thanks, Nate.
Moen, how you feeling? You feeling good? How you doing?
You're listening to Moen and Ute and the soulful sound of the 70s here on College Football Mafia. Nate's away. Moen will play. Yeah, I'm feeling good. How you feeling tonight, Ute?
Man, I'm feeling great. I just I love talking college football. I'm looking forward to talking about games soon, but we're not done talking about PCSA. It's been rattling around this brain all freaking week on the ramifications for the rest of schools for PCSA. That's how I think, y'all. I think like, hey, what does this mean for my school, your school, this school? I like to think of things pretty granular at that level, and we're Moan, if you're up to it, we're going to go to the next round and talk about the thumbs up, thumbs down for some schools.
Oh,
What do you think?
okay.
All right, so we've already gone here. And this one's for Doc Gibbs. Like, he's the one who threw out that super chat and said, hey, what does this mean for, we know what we called a couple weeks ago, the wild cards of the ACC. Thumbs up, thumbs down, PCSA dying. What does that mean for the schools you're seeing, the wild card schools for realignment on the screen? Let's just hit a rapid action mode. Virginia Tech, PCSA dying. Good, bad, why?
I think it's good for them. And I think the reason why is what I mentioned. I think the SEC needs to get in Virginia. I think the better school for the SEC in Virginia is Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Virginia Tech, this is real good news. If there was a 19-school cap, you were not going to be involved in that. You would still lose a couple schools in the ACC in that situation, so it would erode the value of the ACC. This is just good. Now you've got a shot at getting in the SEC. Great news for Virginia Tech. How about Georgia Tech? Moan. Good, bad, why?
You know, I haven't been hearing a lot about Georgia Tech recently, so this might be bad for Georgia Tech. Might be bad for Georgia Tech because they may be looking at being in an ACC that's losing most of their programs.
Wow.
And you know, I love Georgia Tech. Atlanta, we've talked about it, but I mean, if you can only, I think it's bad for Georgia Tech.
So you think it would have been better for Georgia Tech to remain in the ACC with just like most of the schools intact and just a few of them plucked away under that 19-team cap?
Again, it depends on how much the Big Ten wants to be in the Southeast. We've already been told it's Virginia or Duke. It's either or with that pairing.
Right.
So if you want 3 schools in the Southeast, Georgia Tech would be ideal. But again, Georgia Tech has not done anything to show that they want to be an expansion candidate. They've just kind of laid back and kind of took it. So, I'm going to put the thumbs down.
Wow. That's wild. That's not a great development for Georgia Tech, because if it does raid out and there's 24 schools that are going to the Big Ten and 20 going to the SEC without PCSA bounds, then Georgia Tech's looking at staying in a dilapidated ACC or coming over to the Big 12, and Big 12 is going to want Georgia Tech. That's one of the dream schools for Big 12. Getting into Atlanta, are you kidding me? Getting somebody for UCF down there? Oh my gosh, what a dream situation. But yeah, that's wild. Thumbs down for Georgia Tech. NC State.
Oh, it's a thumbs up.
Why is that?
Again, from everything I've heard from people who know the workings of North Carolina politics, that backpack is strong. So, North Carolina State is going to have to get something out of this. They may get an SEC invite out of this, but if they don't get an SEC invite, they're going to have to get some significant compensation from the University of North Carolina.
This is great news for NC State. They're one of the biggest winners in this. You know why? Because North Carolina was going to be going, likely to the SEC, if there was a 19-school cap. They were going to be included, and that was about to cut off and definitely severed the Wolfpack backpack. But, hey, if you add one or two, a couple more expansion candidates into the pool, then NC State still has a shot at getting into the Southeastern Conference. Still a long shot, in my point of view, but a better shot, a heck of a lot better shot. So give it a big fat thumbs up. NC State's still in business. They're not out yet. Duke.
Thumbs up.
Why?
You remove the 19 cap, 5-year independence clause. They could afford to be independent for 5 years. just based on their endowment. But I mean, nobody wants to be independent for 5 years to join a program. But that 19 cap really hurts Duke.
Right.
It's the Big Ten's, if it's 19, the Big Ten's going to constantly try and fill that spot with Notre Dame. Duke would be behind Miami in that scenario. Might be behind a couple other schools in that scenario. So getting that 20 cap out of there, getting that 5-year independent rule out of there significantly helps them.
I totally agree. Big time thumbs up. That also goes into Stanford and Cal. I'm just going to talk about them as a pair right here because I think they're both in the same boat as far as this PCSA discussion. Thumbs up for both of them. Look, it's still a long shot in my point of view that they both get into the Big Ten Conference. I know you've got different views on that, Moen, but you at least have a shot in a expanded Big Ten, not capped at 19. You had no shot at 19. None. Stanford, NorCal, you were done. You're going to be in the ACC forever. And obviously you want to get into a better geographic conference, different configuration, whatever that looks like. And you needed this PCSA to die to really survive in the future and get into a better situation geographically. So I'm saying that this is just thumbs up for both of them, big time.
I'm going to disagree with you on Stanford. I would put a thumbs down by Stanford.
Wow.
Stanford has shown no willingness to leave the Ivy public library system to join the Big Ten Academic Alliance. They're not going to change that anytime soon. That money is more important to them than any of their athletic programs. All that research access they have, all the inventions. Yeah, I got them thumbs down. Cal does slightly better, but I think Cal is hurt by the fact that Stanford gets drugged down. But I would give Stanford the thumbs down. I'd give Cal the thumbs up.
Interesting. Okay, so that didn't really, the PCSA doesn't really have much bearing on Stanford. That's just Stanford's position and realignment, right?
It does, because it does, who you're aligned with is important to Stanford. And if, let's say, North Carolina leaves, that's a huge public Ivy. Virginia leaves, public Ivy. All these schools that are actually, if Duke leaves, that's, a fantastic research private school institute. If Georgia Tech leaves, that's, these are the kind of people that Stanford wants to align themselves with. But their inability to get away from that Ivy public library system is, it's going to hinder them. But again, to me, I think the money they make from that is far more important than athletics.
Yep. Okay, then I think this can be a quick overview right here, Moen, because in my point of view, for SMU, Boston College, Louisville, Pitt, Syracuse, and Wake Forest, we categorize these as the others with our realignment probabilities video. Go check that out. Did it a few weeks ago. But we're talking about PCSA right now in a 19-school cap. I think this is terrible for these schools because these schools didn't have a shot at getting in the Power 2. And so staying in the ACC and just getting rated slightly in the ACC by a couple schools going and retaining most of the strong brands that were in the ACC gives a lot more stability to all these schools. So the PCSA was a protection almost for them, like a shield. But now that's looking like it's off the table. Bad news means realignment's happening. It's going to really mess things up for each one of these schools. What do you think?
I would give SMU a thumbs up here.
What?
And I'll explain why. If TCU was on this list, I would give TCU a thumbs up here. If the Big Ten wanted into Texas, this would benefit SMU and TCU. Does the Big Ten want in Texas that bad? I don't know. I don't know. But, I mean, you got to keep it out there. You got to keep an open mind. So if they want in Texas, you got to put SMU definitely wins with this. SMU, TCU both win with this.
So SMU, if the ACC gets rated deep because PCSA doesn't stick, SMU's in a pretty tough situation. They've got no Big 12 entry with TCU in the same market. I don't see how that's a positive thing. And like the odds of them getting to the Big Ten are less than 1%, in my point of view. Am I wrong about that, or what do you think?
I wouldn't say it's less than 1%, but it's very low. But I mean, it's the old poker analogy. As long as you got a chip in a chair, you're still in the game.
All right, I'll give you it. Thumbs up for SMU, and then how about the rest?
Thumbs down for Boston College. Thumbs down for Louisville. Thumbs up for Pitt. Again, Pitt is actually, when we go all the way back to the Kevin Warren era of the Big Ten, one of the candidates mentioned was Pitt. So again, I don't think Pitt has much of a shot. I don't think Penn State would want Pitt in the conference, but Pitt does have a football history, excellent academics, could fit in the Big Ten. I'm giving them the same reason I'm giving the SMU. It's less than 5%, but I can't write them off completely. And does this mean, and just to be clear, I don't think SMU, TCU, or Pitt make it into the Big Ten. But again, as long as the opportunity is there, you got to give them something.
You got to give them something. It's better than a thumbs down. It's not a clear loss because you still have a outside chance, right?
Sure.
Okay, how about Syracuse?
Yeah, thumbs down on them. I mean, the 20 cap didn't hurt them as bad because they would only be a Big 12 expansion candidate.
What about Wake Forest?
A thumbs down.
There we go. Thumbs up, thumbs down. PCSA discussion. Per school. Some hot takes with the SMU. I'm with you on Pitt a little bit more. SMU, to me, feels a little stretchy. Georgia Tech was a wild take. Stanford was a wild take. And I think we're basically nails on all the blue bloods there in the discussion. So that wraps it up. Winners and losers. PCSA.
All right, let's get to some super chats here.
Let's do it.
That came in. Evil Badger Ryan Willie Moan. I'm watching Packers Family Night. Does McCord know the difference between offensive players and defensive players? He didn't at Ohio State. At Syracuse, he was playing less stiff competition and did a little bit better there. But yeah, when we got Howard away from Kansas State and got McCord out to Syracuse, it hurt us in the bowl game that year. Because we had Lincoln Kineholtz basically had no game experience, ended up having to play because Devin Brown went down with an injury on the first drive. But yeah, listen, Kyle McCord's not a great quarterback. He does not respond well to pressure. And yeah, does he know the difference? I don't think he cares. Thank you for that super chat though, Ryan.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
And then we have MBM saying, got any dirty turtle sounds? I know Ryan doesn't like it, but since you requested it, MBM, and it's been a long time since we played it, anybody who does not want to hear the tortoise face, cover your ears now, because here he comes. Literally, here he comes. There you go. Congratulations, MBM357. I hope that did something for you. And then we have C. Curtis 2407. Moen spot on. Virginia Tech is so very similar to Texas A&M. Virginia Tech is most assuredly an SEC school. I agree with you 100%, C. Curtis. But does that mean that they would not take Virginia? If the SEC would not take Virginia, I wouldn't count on it. I think the SEC still could take Virginia, but I think Virginia Tech is a much better fit. So, I mean, sometimes the best fits don't actually get, brought into a conference. Thank you for that super chat, though. And let me see. I think I've got a Virginia Tech fight song on here.
We have, yeah, that'd be good.
TUV. I don't have a Virginia Tech fight song on here. I'll have to get that. I'll just do a turkey call for you if that'll work. So that's my best turkey call. So there you go. Okie on.
That was great.
I think James Franklin's going to do sensational things there for Virginia Tech. Let's get to some more comments here. We're going to get to some of the newer ones. Greg's Disney Adventure says Notre Dame isn't joining the Big ever. Doc Gibbs says, point is, does SEC skip state of North Carolina entirely rather than taking UNC plus NCSU? This is only choices the SEC will have. Yes, that's, I've heard similar things, that the the North Carolina government, their state government, could potentially block them. It's heavy with Wolfpack members in the legislature, and they could potentially block it. I don't know. I think that's a great question, and I think I've said it before. I would you take a North Carolina state if it meant you got a North Carolina?
If there was no choice, yes, you take them both. If there's absolutely no choice, I do think you take them both. I think it's valuable enough to add a new market. You want North Carolina. That said, I just don't see it coming down to that. I think you could put a lot of leverage on the situation before. And who's in the, who has better leverage? The Southeastern Conference? And who has a better, longer timeline? Or UNC Chapel Hill? I mean, why is the SEC in a hurry to grab North Carolina when they can make them bleed? And just, and make the in-state government sweat and look like they're going to get left out of the power too, and all of a sudden crap hits the fan and they'll do whatever it takes to get in and let one of their schools in rather than two. I just don't think that North Carolina holds the leverage like the SEC does, and I think that's going to be the swing factor in only bringing North Carolina into the SEC and not NC State. But if it's just an absolute black or white, yeah, you take them both over none.
Duke leaving the IPL would be huge. Yeah, it's a prerequisite. I saw somebody earlier in the chat saying, why couldn't they be both? You can't. They're mutually exclusive. You have to be a member either or. You can't be a member of both library systems. And if you're going to join the Big Ten, you're joining the BTAA. They're not going to just allow you to continue to be an IPL member. Your mic sounds low.
Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. If that's still the case, I'll fix it next show.
Yeah, I've cranked you up as much as I can on the StreamYard end, so. CFB Upstart lets us know that Virginia Tech won 3 Big East championships over Miami in their heyday. That's 7 conference championships in the span of 20 years. Now, Virginia Tech was a great program, especially under Beamer, and I think under James Franklin. I think, he obviously got to work right away after he got fired at Penn State. He got to work right away at Virginia Tech and basically pulled kids from Penn State to Virginia Tech and really hit that recruiting trail hard. James Franklin's an amazing recruiter. So I think Virginia Tech definitely got a good one there. Thing you're going to have to deal with from time to time is James Franklin. Sometimes he just has a brain fart in play calling. It'll be 4th and 5, and he'll call a rush. Frank Potter says Virginia Tech, Miami are 15-15 over the past 30 years. That's true. And both of you have kind of been in the desert Miami's been in the desert since Ohio State beat them for a national championship. But, I mean, Virginia Tech had some dark days there, too. Jan Holk says it's funny to me when people say SEC will take North Carolina State second school in North Carolina, and then they tell me they don't want or need a second Florida team. Well, part of that is there is a deep rivalry there between Florida State, and Miami. So some of that is just rivalry talk. That the Florida Gators are like, no, we don't want the Seminoles in our conference.
But why would you double dip in North Carolina when you fought so much to not do it in Florida? When Florida is a much more fruitful territory. It's a great point.
Daryl CRH said Greg Pflugar said his sources told him Big will only take Duke or UVA, not both. Yeah, I actually broke that a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, that's right. Moan actually is the one that broke that news, actually, Daryl. And so, yeah, that was a Moan special here on the Big Freakin' Friday show 2 weeks ago. That's right. Yeah.
Oh.
Was that the Wizard that gave you that intel?
It was the Wizard who gave me that insight. So, Jose says Big has been duped like everyone else by the leprechaun.
I don't. Yeah, the PCSA. Just imagine how upset they are out in South Bend right now with the PCSA crumbling. They can't be happy about that, right?
No. The John Dry says Texas Tech has the third biggest fan base in Texas.
That's right. You get Texas Longhorn, A&M, and Texas Tech.
I'm sure they do, but you know what else they have? They have a lot of people that were pissed off that they tried to start a kid who was caught gambling on football, and basically had their chairman of the Board of Regents have the AG of Texas basically file suit against the Big 12. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. You know, if you're on the outside looking in saying, oh, do I want to do business with, these people that could sue me at any minute? I think I'll take a pass.
Texas Tech is a very underrated fan base. When Utah went over to the Big 12 conference, really excited to start playing Texas Tech, just because their fan base is so big and passionate. Got a great fan base. And they truly are the third outside of Texas A&M. Then it's Texas Tech. I work with a lot of people, friends with a lot of people that are Texas Tech alums. They're diehards, man. And so I hope the best for them, right? Like Cody Campbell, he giveth and taketh away. They're in a unique position. If you're just talking about Texas Tech with PCSA, Cody Campbell pushed this so much. What does Texas Tech gain from this or lose from this PCSA? I mean, the Big 12's not going to necessarily be as stable with the PCSA off the table as it would have been otherwise. And I guess that's a bad thing for Texas Tech because Texas Tech doesn't really have an avenue for the Big Ten or the SEC. Although, in a best of the rest, they would certainly be involved in that. And I would think that Texas Tech needs to be positioning for that type of situation, 100%. And grabbing schools, talking with schools, and trying to play that card rather than than like a post realigned Big 12.
Yeah, here's the thing, and we talked about it. We did a probability video on the ACC, and you said, let's do one on the Big 12. And I'm like, in the Big 12, for my opinion, there's only 3 or 4 schools out there that are potential expansion candidates, or that have high probabilities. Kansas and Utah, Oklahoma State, maybe Colorado. Those are my only 4 that I think have high probabilities. Now, I'm not saying that leaves everybody else at 0, because it doesn't. Like I said, TCU would probably get some kind of percentage from me. As you know, but as far as that goes, the majority of the Big 12 isn't going anywhere, unless they were to form a best of the rest.
And that would be super interesting, because who would be involved in that? How deep does the SEC and the Big Ten go? Who would be left over in the ACC to form something else, getting supported by private equity? I mean, as far as dollars and cents, that would make the most sense if you had decent brands on the board to create a 16-team optimized conference for more payouts.
And again, I've mentioned it before. I think, listen, if the SEC decides they want to go beyond 20, and they didn't have to grab 2 schools in North Carolina and 2 schools in Virginia, I think their next options would be Kansas and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, totally.
Everything Texas State. Looking forward to his first Pac-12 conference game coming up. The San Antonio-Austin DMA is expected to be the next merged media market in coming decade. Public school with 47,000 students sits directly in the middle. And then he got a picture of a wildcat.
I think Texas State's done really well for themselves getting into the Pac-12. Seriously, like where Texas State was 5 years ago versus where they are going into the season. Build the brand. That's exactly what they're doing. It's cool to see it and stuff. And Texas Tech definitely is a rising star. Texas State.
Kenneth Maynor says Big would take TCU or SMU over Texas Tech. Yeah, I think if that was you have to take one of the 3, I think TCU and SMU are going to be the ones battling out, not Texas Tech. I think and you're right, it's feast or famine. You get the good with Cody Campbell, but you also got to take that bad with him. And,
Texas Tech and BYU are in like the same circumstance. Good brands that like don't really have an avenue to get to the SEC and the Big Ten, but have a lot of worth to create something. Like they're in the same boat, Texas Tech and BYU.
Again, if the SEC sticks at 20, you can probably get a best of the rest going. If the SEC goes to 22, I don't think there's enough value there. But I could be wrong. They could pull their media rights or figure something out and go from there. Vox Quindaro says Kevin Warren is to the Big as flatulence is to theoretical physics. Boy, I'm telling you what, you obviously weren't here to hear my theory this morning. I mean, my theory was very long and loud and a little bit wet. I told you I want that to be Haku.
That's Vox right there. Who's Haku?
We talked about this last week. Go look up a video on Haku.
You also talked about flossing last week, and so
okay, we're not bringing that up again. And I didn't bring that up. Somebody else in the chat brought that up, and I forget who it was. Yeah, Haku. If you haven't, just look up a video Haku, and you'll probably see Haku, the baddest man in wrestling. Haku, toughest man ever. Jake Roberts once said if he had to fight Haku and he had a tank and a gun, he would try and shoot him with the tank, and he knew that would just piss Haku off. And he had to keep that gun handy to blow his brains out before
Wait,
Haku
so you're
got a hold
saying
of
that
him.
Vox is like Haku? Because I'm seeing Vox. Tell us, are you Polynesian? Because if Vox is Polynesian, then he could be Haku.
It doesn't matter if he's the most interesting man in the world. To me, Haku is the most interesting man in the world.
Oh, Haku is the most interesting man in the world.
Yes.
Understood. Yes.
Shonsky says if the Big Ten wants in Texas, they're going after Texas A&M. Very good.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they're going to get them, but they will go after them. Sure.
First call is the Texas Longhorns. The second call is the Texas A&M Aggies. Yeah.
Vox Quindaro says greatest video ever. I'm assuming that's for the tortoise reaching the pleasure zone. Ryan Willie says, I turned the volume down. Hey, Ryan, that's why I gave everybody like a 5-second warning. I said, I'm playing that sound. I know that sound is, for some people, it's arousing. And for other people,
Who said that? Who said that?
For Jacobra Cat, I'm sure that's arousing. And for other people, they don't like it.
Cobra Cat did not say it's arousing. Gee.
No, but Jacobra Cat keeps if you have not noticed, go to Mowing After Dark on Sundays and just read some of the things Jacobra Cat puts there. And sometimes they go over my head. I mean, they go over my head. And I have to wait until the show's over and ask Rock what he meant by it. Mowing turkey call, good job. Yeah, I can call turkeys in.
Well,
well,
sorry. Go ahead. Go grab MBM's comment. We'll get
yeah. FSU has better ratings than UNC North Carolina State combined. FSU UF rivalry would be worth much more to ESPN than UNC NC State. I agree with you on a value perspective, but if you're the SEC and you're fighting for playoff spots, do you want to add another national championship contender into your, that's the thing. All right, where's the comment you had pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like an actual football question about the coaches poll. Your take.
Yeah, the coaches poll came out this week. And Texas, Ohio State are 1-2, as they were last season. I really don't understand some of these picks in the coaches poll. I'm sorry, Penn State. Listen, I hope Matt Campbell does wonders for you, and he's able to salvage this season. But they've lost so many parts off of that team. It's hard for me to believe that they're going to be anything better than a 7-5 squad. And I think 7-5 is ambitious.
I'm going to share the coaches poll. Is that okay, Amon, just for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I want to take a look-see at the coaches poll. I looked through this several times. So I'd like to get your hot take if there's any like super big surprises for coaches poll. So here I'm going to zoom in so everyone can see it a little bit better here. So you mentioned it before. Ohio State was number 1, Oregon number 2. That seems right. Georgia at 3 to me seems like a little bit high. Texas at 4 seems a little bit low, but Texas at 3. What do you think about that?
Well, one I take the biggest issue with here, and I hate to defend the Hoosiers after handing Ohio State a loss in the championship game last year, the conference championship game. How is Indiana 6? I mean, are we really just writing Cignetti off at this point?
He didn't even lose last year.
He didn't lose last year, and the year before he lost 2 games. And the 2 games he lost the year before were the 2 teams that played in the national championship game. So I don't understand the disrespect for Indiana. I don't understand the disrespect for Notre Dame. Listen, I
think
get
Notre Dame's right there at 5. That makes sense to me.
I think Notre Dame should be. I think Oregon should be lower. And I know Oregon thinks they have a great team. I don't think Dante Moore's the best quarterback in America. Georgia, again, can Kirby kind of pull it together this year? I don't know. Texas. See, I would have Texas, Notre Dame, and Indiana move all up into the 2, 3, and 4.
Necessarily think Notre Dame's like top 3. I'm with you on Indiana. I can buy that. Georgia seems way like a stretch. Maybe move Georgia down to 6. Maybe flip Indiana, Georgia. That makes sense. The one school that blows my mind, this is a top 3 school right here, Mon. LSU's a top 3 school. They might win the championship.
I understand this isn't on paper. This is on paper. They are a top 10 school. I understand that.
Top 3
on paper. School. And you know, they've certainly spent the money. They paid what, $9.5 million, 40-some million went out the door to get rid of Brian Kelly and get Lane Kiffin in and all that went down. But yeah, I mean, I have to see it on the field first. I have to see it on the field.
It's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be strong.
And I think Miami's underrated here. Miami just played in the national championship game last year.
Miami lost Carson Beck and Ruben Bain. I mean, like, Ruben Bain was a freaking stud, dude. Like,
yeah,
I
but they got
a good recruiting class, but I'm not sold that Miami's going to get back in like deep playoff run this year. I know that a lot of people are high on Miami. I'm not buying.
Well, we'll talk more about it in our conference previews coming up next week.
Let's look at Penn State, right? Let's look at Penn State. Where's Penn State 17? That was the question here. Is this right for Penn State?
I don't think so. And I like Matt Campbell. I think it's a better hire than Sataki would have been. They just lost too many pieces. I mean, Matt Campbell has shown he can do a lot with a little, but that was in the Big 12. It's a lot harder to do a lot with a little in the Big 10. Especially with that schedule, I would not have put Penn State that high, in my opinion.
I'm with you. Yeah, I don't think, maybe 24-25 for Penn State if you want to put them in. They're going to lose a lot of games this year. I'm with you, Moan. 100%. Rocco Beck's a stud quarterback. I like that. And I think Rocco is a senior. It's last year. It's going to take a while to revamp that program. I don't know. Yeah, Matt Campbell seemed like a good initial fit for Penn State, but I'm hoping that Penn State doesn't have regrets firing James Franklin.
Well, the one thing Franklin could not take with him were the Penn State fan base. And that fan base is going to sell out every home game this year. And they're going to be loud and they're going to be into it. And it's going to be a tough place to play for anybody. So we'll see. Again, I think 7-5 is where I have them at. They do have a fairly weak schedule this year, if I'm correct. Yeah, Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, win.
5 wins right there. 5 wins.
I'm not putting their win. I'm not putting Wisconsin as a win. I think that game against Wisconsin, I'd probably pick Wisconsin. Again, have to see if their quarterback can stay healthy. At Northwestern, it's a night game at Northwestern. But I'm not sure. Is that the first game at the new Ryan Field?
This is, you know what? This is about the easiest Big Ten schedule I've ever seen.
Well, listen, SC is going to be tough. They're a playoff contender.
Yeah, your SC's coming to you cross country.
They are coming to you.
It's going to be a night game.
You're right.
Probably. Then you're going out of Michigan. Look, you've got Washington. There's losses on the schedule, but there's a possibility of a 10-win season.
Yeah, you're going
I
to
would say
beat
9-3.
Purdue. You're going to beat Purdue. In my opinion, you're going to beat Minnesota. Sorry, Greg. You're not convincing me that kid's got good throwing mechanics. You're going to beat Rutgers. Maryland's a tough one because it's Mike Loxley's make or break season. So either they're rolling on all cylinders or they've already collapsed at this point. So, and you've got an interim head coach out there coaching kids. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I could see 7 wins here.
Man, there's more than that. Definitely more than that. There's up to 10 wins here, Moan. There's 9. I would say 9 is the number, but there could be 10 wins. With Rocco Beck as a senior quarterback, Whittingham has never beat Matt Campbell. They only played once or twice. But like, there's losses on here, but yeah, Penn State's going to be a top 20 team. I'm with you. I think that Penn State's
more power to them. I hope they pull off. They don't play us this year, so I hope they have a good season. Let's get to a few more comments before we bounce out of here. Markets mean nothing if no one is watching. Advertising dollars are determined by what? Eyeballs? Not just eyeballs, but whose eyeballs? Is Big Ten taking North Carolina State as well? Probably not. I don't think the Big Ten has much hope for North Carolina.
Duke.
There will be even more in-state people in the future ignoring UNC football. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Nobody wants to know nothing about Moen cranking up Wild U. You had to take it there, Vox Quindaro. You just had to take it there. Why are your eyes half closed? He's been drinking Michelob Ultra Light. That would wreck anybody.
Moen, stop it. This thing is like 3.2%.
Yeah. I don't drink a beer unless it's 10% ABV.
Yeah, right, Moen. You drink, come on. What's your favorite beer, Moen?
Hoof-Hearted Brewing's Mom Jean's Milk Stout.
Wow. Very specific. Nice.
UNC gains nothing but cheaper travel costs in the SEC. They get BTAA in the Big Ten, similar media payouts, more sports offered in the Big Ten. I hear you, but everything we've heard, Greg's heard it too, is that North Carolina has got their sights set on the SEC. Movie Time Blue says, what if both Virginia Tech and North Carolina State join the AAU? I think they both will. But again, it's just a matter of fit. Virginia Tech is much more of an SEC school to me than a Big Ten school. Wouldn't you agree, you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
In Virginia
doesn't bring the market that the Big Ten so wants and desires.
It doesn't bring the old money that UVA has. So, Kenneth Maynard brings up, North Carolina State will be AAU, and we've talked about this on the channel before, and I'll say it again in case you have not heard it. Within the next 2 years, you're going to have a vote in the AAU. I think Nebraska being able to combine their NSF herd surveys with their medical school, that's going to make Nebraska AAU eligible again. I think the Big Ten is going to push for that. And I think the ACC and the SEC are going to push for their schools. I think Georgia's got a good chance of becoming AAU. And the ACC, I think you've got North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, definitely have an opportunity to become AAU. So definitely check that out. Metallica 1 fan 1 says, as a Gator fan, I want Florida State to join the SEC because we all float down here. That's why you don't put your Like, don't go swimming in Florida. Oh, boy, there's just too many comments to get to, but we do have one super chat, and we'll let that wrap us up. If Wisconsin pulls off the upset at PSU, Greg will have a bad year. Definitely Greg the Freezer. Sorry, Bob. Bucky wins.
My. What's the battle?
I don't even know. Do we have a point spread on that yet?
That's what I was going to check, actually. Like, what is the line for Wisconsin in Minnesota? Are we looking at Penn State, Wisconsin? Penn State, right?
Yeah, Wisconsin at Penn State.
Wisconsin, Penn State. We just have, let's see, we've got FPI says 80% Penn State win. There's no betting line yet.
Oh, okay.
But Football Power Index is that 4/5, 4 out of every 5 matches, Penn State wins.
Well, apparently they have Penn State as the favorite. Again, you heard what I said, Ryan. It's not something I would just count as an easy W for Penn State. I think Wisconsin, if their quarterback can stay healthy, by God, let Luke Fickell have one healthy quarterback. And I think Wisconsin can do something. All right, for myself, for Wild Ute, we're going to wrap this up. As a reminder, I will be dropping the Moen Confidential members-only video tomorrow, and then on Sunday, it'll be me and Rock on Moen After Dark here on the College Football Mafia Network. That start time is 8 p.m. Eastern, so I hope you tune in to watch us. As you heard from Nate, on Tuesday, he's going to do his call-in show. On Wednesday, he is going to do a members-only stream. Do you have any videos dropping this week, Hugh?
Yeah, we'll have a video dropping on Thursday here. It's about the Big Ten and the SEC, the valuations. When you pool up all the schools, you compare them, you do the analysis on the growth and stuff to see who's more valuable, who's looking more valuable in the future, and the battle of the big P2.
There you go. Professor Ute going to drop some numbers on you this week. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Big Freakin' Friday show. Especially everybody who donated, Ryan Willie, the other Gygax, Greg's Disney Adventure, Bulldog, Mississippi, Trent Brown, Kenneth Maynard, Doc Gibb, Nathan Jones. Make sure I miss anybody. MBM, C. Curtis. Thank you all who donated. We appreciate that. It helps us keep the lights on here. Would ask you again before we leave to like, comment, subscribe. Those things help us out tremendously in the algorithm. And I'll pop this little sucker up here. So until next Friday, and next Friday, God willing, if God is willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to do a conference preview. We're going to talk actual football. But the way Washington is, the way all this stuff is, I'm sure that's going to get blown to hell. And we're going to be talking about some other major development in college football before we can do our conference previews. But next week, we're going to try and do conference previews on the Big Freakin' Friday show. For myself, for you, everybody take care. Have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. And we will see you here next Friday.
Big Freakin' Friday show, yeah, we on the night.